Grass in the wind, like a lullaby. Not a thought in my head, just open sky. There's a sale at the mall where all the people are tall, and there's a big old world where you can find a girl. Grass in the wind, like a lullaby. Not a thought in my head, just open sky. There's a war in the east where they're fighting for peace, and there are modern day saints locked up in chains. Grass in the wind, like a lullaby. Not a thought in my head, just open sky. And there's a million stars, and there's convertible cars, and there's a whole lot of stress with life and death.
Katie, will you tell us about what the pop-up is?
So basically, it's a space at the Row downtown LA, and it functions as kind of like several different things at the same time. So it's going to be partly like my retail space, and then in the other area, it's going to be kind of like a venue to host like other artists or like focusing on like retailers that are like handmade and like only online. So for example, my friend Lorian, she's going to do sample sale, and then she's going to do an art show, a collaborative art show with her husband Dave, and we're also going to do a heat press t-shirt party, which is always fun, with all her characters. In July, my friend Issa of the brand Gentle Thrills is going to do an all-day airbrushing, t-shirt airbrushing thing. So it's going to be a lot of like fun, a lot of like, I want it to be a place where you just kind of like walk by and you're like, oh, and there's something really like active and like fun to watch happening, whether it be like a scheduled event or I'll just be in there kind of like making inventory basically. It's like, it's all been so much work. I have like almost no inventory for it, but I have a lot of really cool shop furniture. It's gonna be awesome. I've been treating it like almost like the same as like getting ready for like a gallery art show. So far, everyone involved is like awesome. Working with artists is so easy. Like, it's like nothing. You don't get like bogged down. You're like, yeah, let's like problem solve this. And so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling inspired.
How long has this been in the making?
Like early December. I tried to not like bully myself artistically by like doing a bunch of sketches and then like holding myself to a sketch. Like if I get asked to do something that's like open-ended, but it's nighttime and so I can't like start working on it in that moment, but I'm excited, I'll do a bunch of sketches and I have like never ever actually made those pieces. Like it always goes in a totally different way. For the best. I think my first, like, memory of making art was the instructional American Girl and the Klutz books that were kind of like, make a friendship bracelet or, you know, whatever. And American Girl had really good ones. They still do. I remember there was this blue mouse, and it was actually not even like one of the, it was like the page to be like, it's okay if your salt dough sculpture turns out bad. It was like the cute mouse, and then a bunch of his like slumped over and like defective friends, and they were so cute. And I think that was like the first time I was ever, or like first memory of like being like energized by making something, and also like thinking beyond like a set of instruction. With regular sculpture stuff, I kind of just go with God. Whatever, right? You just kind of have to be like, let's go. Moving on. This is the mural me and my bestie Anna painted last week. It's gonna be just like the backdrop of the space, because all the shop furniture I've made has kind of had a roadside theme. So I painted this peak is like where we live. This is the 5 fingers, but I spaced out while I was painting it, and I deleted a digit. So it's the 4 fingers. Now no one can find me. No one will know for sure. They'll GPS to the 4 fingers. I grew up in LA, and then I went to college in a city too. So I hadn't really like experienced, I don't know, like by myself as an adult, like spending time in a small town. And it was awesome. And so now here I am. Tonight we're gonna go to my bestie Lorian's house. I met her, I was still living in LA, and I was actively looking for friends that were interested in art and like selling art themselves, and that's something she was doing very well. She invited us out here to see her house, and then eventually invited us to stay for a little bit, and then we just really liked the area, so we stayed. Her property that she's living on is very cool and inspiring. It's nothing like it, really. It's really lucky that like we get the opportunity to like work together.
Being around Katie and seeing her work is inspiring, because it's like it's motivating. Like if I'm going through a rut and I'm not feeling creative, and if I see Katie's being like really creative and plowing through, and I see she's making really cool stuff, it might motivate me to be like, all right, that was inspiring. I can do it again.
Yeah, I know what you mean too, because I think sometimes we'll like when we start talking, like maybe I hadn't thought too much about how I felt before, but like the adrenaline is pumping, and then I'm like, let's do this.
Yeah, like I feel like we're good at psyching each other up, and like you'll send me something really cool you're working on, and I'll send you something I'm excited about that I'm working on,
Yeah.
and we're both like,
Both like,
"Epic!"
hell yeah! I
And
know,
then
yeah.
it's like, cool. I don't know. It's like,
Yeah.
I feel like we feed each other motivation
Yeah.
and inspiration without ripping each other
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
You love finding like the silliness in things.
Are we gonna kiss?
And
Yeah, but you do too.
yeah, I like, yeah, in a different way though.
Yeah.
But that's why we
Yeah.
probably enjoy each other's.
And that's probably why it like looks good together.
Mhm.
Is because it's like the
We-
pieces would be
yeah.
friends. So
our works have a colorful sense of humor.
yeah.
They have a sense of humor. They're colorful.
Yeah. Literally. Sometimes I feel like when I'm making things, I'm like, I'll make something and then I'll be like, and then he needs a brother, and then he needs a sister, and then it like comes from that, and it makes like this big, like the dog vase, like the first one I made. I had made, my original idea was a vase that was like a little guy, but I never buy flowers, so he had a ball cap on. And so if you didn't have flowers, he could wear his little ball cap. And then if you did have flowers, you just put the ball cap somewhere else, and you just throw it away, because flowers last forever. No, and then I was like, and he needs a wife, and he needs a pet. And then the pet is like now like 4 out of 7 days of my week, you know, and it's just like become something. So I think like for me a lot of it is just like following what gets me attention, but then also making little baby families. I love it. That looks so good. Tweet.
Beautiful.
I think you should be embarrassed of your old work, otherwise you're like, what the hell? You know, like, I'll probably be embarrassed of, like, this stuff. And I'll have to make you delete this video from the internet with all my art I'm sick of. Yeah. The other thing that I'm always like, is, like, I forgot, like, it's so important to, like, take pictures of everything. Like, there's so many things that I'm like, oh yeah, I made that and that was so cool, and I have like no proof of it. It's just like somewhere like in the mysteries of Chicago, like somebody's apartment. You know, it's like there was like one whole art show I did where like they were like, oh yeah, we're hiring a photographer, and I have like still to this day never seen a picture. I asked like 50 times. I'm like, cool, I don't have any of that artwork anymore, and I have no memories in pictures, but it's okay.
Joey B. So handsome.
I've been having trouble taking care of myself, not being around for anyone else. And I get to thinking that I got it, man. God don't need anybody's helping hand. And I make my own world when I start to sing. All alone, but it sounds just like a symphony, at least to me. And when I look up into the starry night, I'm filled up and I'm feeling right. Then I wonder inside of me that makes me